Dude, I get bugged by the few people who I know who listen. I get bugged. Like, when's the next episode coming out?
I don't get bugged at all, so I mean, that's all on you. I'm glad I don't have that burden.
Jeff asked and Sarah asked and Leaf texted us and was like, when's the next Console Crusade? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, you know as well as I do.
I'm not the master of my
I've been
destiny.
trying.
I'm confused.
What's up, everybody? This is the Console Crusade podcast. Video game news, retro games, and some other stuff. Today, we are joined by, what's my name?
EJ Olson.
What's your name?
My name is Nick Dryer.
Who's this guy over here?
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Brennan.
What's your name?
Here you go, little guy. Speaking to the microphone. It's Brennan.
Is this thing on?
We don't have a camera on us right now, but that was what.
Thank God, because that was hilarious during that entire intro. A little bit peek behind the curtain. EJ was closing his eyes and looking away so he wouldn't lose his gumption.
The intro is always so awkward, and I don't even know what to say anymore. We used to have a bit where it was like, we're talking about retro video game news, and George Lucas's mullet. Like, or what, I don't know.
Yeah, that's...
Gullet, not mullet.
Now I'm just thinking about George Lucas with the mullet. It's beautiful. Like Billy Ray style.
Cursed image, dude. So anyway, yeah, this is the Console Crusade podcast. We're back at it today with our buddy Brennan Dryer, who is a gamer at heart.
I do play games sometimes.
Our Venn diagrams of common interests, I think, are getting... That little circle in the middle is getting smaller and smaller as time goes on. But it's a good thing we've got Nick Durheim here, because that middle circle for them, I think it's bigger and bigger as time goes on. And so I'm sure you guys are going to wax about Dark Souls and while I drink beer in the corner over here.
Shit you don't like.
But we literally have no topics prepared whatsoever. We're just going to sit here and grill you, Brennan, about your fucking history with gaming. And, and then we'll bring it back to Nintendo labia or something, because you're a Switch owner.
Yeah,
you're in the know. Yeah, so
I like to play.
What do you?
It's funny too, because we tried to do a podcast kind of describing where we came from, where we came up with the games, but then that shit's lost to the annals of history. Had a bad recording session, then audio ended up not working. So we'll probably be pitching in our own stuff.
Yeah, every time I bring up that story, you bring up that story in the podcast, I talk about how I think I could salvage the camera audio from that well enough just to do a lost episode. Maybe at like 50 episodes sometime this year.
If we ever launch a Patreon, that'll be behind the Patreon walls. You have to give us money if you want to really be disappointed.
Yeah. That was a great episode. We had it on film. We built a set in my old apartment with like a bunch of games and shit.
It looked legit. It was like we were YouTubers.
It was tight.
Oh my God.
I had a big LED light panel softbox in the back, so we looked, it was awesome. And we recorded the first night. And we had audio issues with the mic, so the only audio we have is from the little shotgun mic I had in the camera. Really not usable for a podcast. I could probably salvage it for a video, maybe. So the next night we go to record it again, and we're basically just trying to remember what we had said. And both of us we're low energy and slept like shit. And it was just and we got done with the podcast, and I was like, we're not using this at all. That was fucking.
It was really fucking.
Sounds
rough.
like me every time I come down there.
Yeah, I mean, it was the last. His old apartment, so you'd probably recognize the setup.
Oh, yeah.
It was a beautiful thing.
It was. I could pull that out one of these days. We'll see. Shoot us a tweet at console_crusade if you want to see our, one of many first episodes that have been lost.
Oh my God.
In the ether.
Seriously. A lot of false starts.
A lot of false starts.
We tried.
That's exactly it. So, Brennan, like we said, you're a fucking gamer.
Yes,
all
sir.
right? So, we're going to start at the very beginning.
Okay.
That's a good place to start.
All right.
I was going to suggest that too.
So, your mom met your dad in what year? No.
I think that was probably around 1978.
78.
I don't know. Maybe
It's going back.
maybe a little bit later.
They were doing LSD at fucking Woodstock together.
This is
back in-
church camp.
Oh, God.
Oh, even rougher.
Oh, we won't-
shit.
yeah.
1964. Anyway, so you're our age,
Yes.
26 years old, right? I'm going to throw that out there, throwing everyone under the bus.
We're all out, except for you fucking 25-year-old.
I'm almost on the wrong side
You
of...
young boy.
Yeah, well, give it a few months and I'll be there with you, you old farts. All right, back to basics. What's your first console? Talk to me.
I played on a PC.
Back when I was 5, yes.
Whoa, this
yes.
is the console crusade, not the PC Master Race crusade. Let's back it up here.
I was a PC gamer for the first probably 12, 13 years.
Damn.
Of my life. Well, until I was like 12
Right.
or 13.
Well,
You didn't have a console at all?
No.
Oh,
No,
boy.
I did not. No, my first console was a hand-me-down PlayStation 1. And like right when PS2 came out.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So my friend got the PS2 and then he gave me his PS1.
Right.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
The
it was
advent of
great.
the PS2, the PS1 was still going strong and had a great, well, it depends on what you're playing, I guess.
Right.
I'd say the problem with inheriting a PS1 from someone else, though, is they're probably going to keep all the good PS1 games because the PS2 can still play it.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, here's
I think that's
PS1
probably
and
true.
here's PS1 and Gran Turismo, but I'm keeping Tony Hawk. You can fuck off.
Right.
Oh, he
Gran
did
Turismo.
give me Dave Mira though.
Okay,
Dave
that was
Mira
like a
max,
that was a pretty good one. It was
Oh,
the
that was
first one.
okay.
Yeah, that was.
I played the demo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was it one of those demo discs you got in like the magazines? And
I think it was a demo on Tony Hawk 2.
oh,
There
really?
was a demo for Dave Mirra BMX, and it was like, oh, you could do a tail whip. It's like, neat.
Yeah.
So I can't admit that I've ever done this myself, but I may or may not have known a couple of hooligans who would go into Borders, back when Borders was a thing, and you could go, it was like PlayStation Mag or whatever video game magazine, and they'd have demo discs, so
Yeah.
people would just swoop the demo discs.
Yeah.
So I never was the kid with the balls to go fucking rob somebody, but I may have acquired illegitimately attained PlayStation demo disc
In a secondhand illicit disc.
in my day. Yeah, most of my good PlayStation 1 games, honestly, I either got secondhand or like had given me by like neighbors or family who either didn't want them or I don't know, whatever reason. But we've talked about that though. No one had money to go out and buy new games when you were a kid. You got like the birthday game and you got the
Yeah.
Christmas game, right?
We talked a little bit about that with Trevor. That one
Yeah.
pod.
Yeah.
We're talking about PlayStation and N64 stuff.
We play a lot of bad games that we still hold dearly.
Right.
But so you're playing PC. You're playing
Yeah.
the best versions of all the games we were playing for the most part.
Probably not. No, I started out playing like math games.
Dude,
Oh,
math games
dude.
are
Math Blaster.
Yes.
Yeah, like Math Blaster was the shit.
Did you ever play any of the Humongous games?
Oh yeah.
Putt.
Oh yeah. At the library though. I played it at the
Oh,
library. So
yeah.
Pajama Sam,
Yes.
the first one.
No need to hide when it's dark
Putt-putt.
outside.
Freddy Fish.
Which putt-putt?
Just putt. I don't know. I don't know how many are there.
Putt-putt
Putt-putt
saves the
goes to-
parade.
No.
Putt-putt goes to the moon.
No,
Putt-putt travels in time.
maybe.
Putt-putt saves the zoo.
No.
Come
Are we
on.
playing
No, I
ad-libs?
think, I
What is
think,
this?
no, I think,
Those are
I
all
think
real.
maybe it was like, I don't know, something.
Is it a timer?
No, but it was like the putt. I played
Backyard baseball?
backyard baseball.
Yeah.
Pablo's my
Pablo.
boy.
Pablo.
Dude, that dude was OP. What's up with that kid?
Oh, yeah.
Sunny day here.
Backyard football when that came out, that was fun. Soccer.
It's backyard soccer. That was my game. That was my game.
I played.
Was there a backyard basketball on the PC? I know like on Game Boy later. I have backyard basketball on the
Yeah,
GBA.
there was backyard
I never
basketball.
played it.
Eventually, yeah, they had everything.
Shit.
It got kind of weird once they started doing like, oh, it's the kid version of this actual player. I was like, I don't like that. It's like the kids you make up.
That's cool to me because
Yeah.
as a kid, if I could have seen like, here's like a young Shaq and it's just like a fucking fat dude,
No,
like
I think that
eating
actually, I
cheeseburger.
think when they did, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I think when they did the backyard basketball, they had young NBA players.
Yeah,
See, that's
I
cool to
remember
me.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool to me.
Because it came out later.
I'm gonna look this up
Like
now
those early 2000s.
Because-
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna download. What's the
Scum.
Scum? Yeah,
VM.
because I played a little bit of backyard. Last year you turned me on to that. I was playing a little bit of backyard.
Dude, it's fun.
Soccer.
You know what's crazy? You can get that. Well, I have an Android phone, so I can get the Scum VM on my phone, and I can
That's
play
filthy.
I can play any of those old games on my phone. I can play Putt-Putt. I can play fucking Pajama Sam, whatever.
That's
It's just point and click. So you
Oh
just,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
the thing.
it's like
Yeah,
meant for
that's,
touchscreens.
I think that's like why I started to get into point and clicks was because I liked those games.
So-
back in the
They're
day,
fun.
you know?
Okay,
You ever
So-
play like Grim Fandango or the Monkey Island games?
Monkey Island.
Not until later.
Okay, because those were some of my early like PC gaming things.
Yeah.
That and like Need for Speed,
Mm-hmm.
and I had Mega Man X4 on PC when he had it on PlayStation. So it was like,
Yeah.
it's like this weird kind of thing where I'm playing with a fucking keyboard and shit. I'm like, this
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
shaky. We knew even back then that PC gaming was inferior.
Well, it's good for point and clicks. It's good for shooters. It's good
Mhm.
for a lot of games, but I just like action games to be played with a controller.
Sure. That's why even when I do play on PC, I still play with a controller. I'm just playing a really nice console, a way overpriced console.
Right,
Yeah.
you pay way too much
Yeah.
for it. But you hear that PlayStation, and then you got Dave Mirra and any other games that he gave you with it?
Oh, I can't remember. Dave Mirra's the only one that I really remember getting.
How long did you play that PS1 before you because you were 12 or 13?
Yeah, I was 12 or 13. I played that. No, I was 11. Probably 11.
PlayStation came out in 2000, so I don't know how recently after it came out your friend got a PS2.
It was right away. Yeah,
Really
and probably a couple months. Yeah. So I was going into 7th grade.
9.
I was
Oh,
going
really?
into 7th grade.
Okay.
But I would rent Medal of Honor. I got the
Dude.
Jedi Power Battles. If you remember that game, that game was a lot of fun. It probably sucks now, but
Yeah, it's
I watched someone playing. There was a video that I watched someone playing, and this is janky as hell. It's hilarious.
yeah. But I loved being able to play as Mace Windu and
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. That was Star Wars is
yeah.
hot. The prequels were coming out. People were excited about Star Wars again. Pod racing.
I remember, maybe I've told this story, but I remember getting the Phantom Menace game on PS1, and it froze
Yeah.
in Boss Nass's throne room or whatever in the Gun City. It froze in the same spot every time.
Oh, okay.
I remember taking the thing out, trying to clean the thing, and we over and over we'd play up to that point. Nope. It failed again. We clean it, we get it out, we blow in the sensor, we put it back in. Nope, froze at the same point again.
Gotta get that disc doctor.
See, that's one thing.
We did though.
Speaking of that, demo discs, I had a demo disc that had the Phantom Menace game on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the first level. I played the shit out of that. But when I was little, I didn't know, the concept of getting the full game was not existent to me. So
That was the game.
That was the game. But I was I was always trying to get past the ball, the wall, and get into the next level. How do I do this? How can I cheat this?
I know it's there.
It's there, dude. Midtown Madness. I can never get over that jump, even if I hit the bridge at the right spot. I couldn't get over that invisible wall.
Damn.
So yeah, I played that, and then my friend brought it over, but he had a burned disc.
Ooh.
And so we played that, and I finally got into the swamp and stuff, and then he had to go home. And that was back when you could take the disc out of the computer and still play the level.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I played that, and then I couldn't get into the third level. I was really disappointed.
I was trying to read the disc. It's no, it ain't 30.
Yep. Yeah.
I remember, and again, I'm going to tell the same stories over and over on this fucking podcast.
Perfect.
We both had Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on PC.
Yep, I remember that.
And I was playing through it.
Good game.
And I was on the level where the troll is chasing us. And it's just sort of one of those Crash Bandicoot perspectives. You're running kind of backwards towards the screen and you're trying to escape the troll. It may have been more of a profile view. But I remember bringing my disc with me because I wanted to play my game at Nick's house. And I remember getting over there and putting it in, and it wouldn't read my copy of the disc. I was like, "What the heck? What's I didn't know what was going on." And then you explained it to me, "You dummy! You can't do that."
If only PC said memory cards, then it would be so much easier.
Because that was always my experience. It's you took your cartridge with you, and your game that's your game, dude. Why would I have known any different?
Fucking disc.
This is the part where I don't tell you about when I was 5 years old and I discovered animated GIFs for the first time. And I tried to print a bunch out, and I got really upset that they didn't move on the paper.
I thought this was Harry Potter paper.
And here's the thing. I was 5 or something, 6. I didn't grasp it until I went to my dad to complain that as I was starting to tell him what was my issue was, I was like, yeah.
Print out a flip book.
You're just preparing yourself for real life at that point.
Just disappointment, feeling like an idiot all the time. That's pretty much being an adult. Why isn't Goku moving?
I want him to Kamehameha, but he won't.
Oh, man. Do you remember getting sprites and then animating or changing each frame yourself? Kind of customizing your own...
you get sprite sheets from Spriters Resource or whatever. Open that shit up and... Not paint, was it Paint Shop? It was Animation Shop. That was the program I had.
It was and it came with Paint Shop Pro and Animation Shop.
It was like just rip off Photoshop basically, but in 2000.
Yeah, but it came with the Animation Shop, which was the only accessible way to make GIFs. And so
at the time, for us,
spending hours in MS Paint making my own brick by brick and then trying to animate them and just super janky stuff. But anyway,
I've never done that.
Never descended to our depths.
I think the closest I ever came was like, The Sims, and then you could do the cheat to get them naked, but like there was like a paint thing, and then I would try to like recreate the best I could the female body, so I could just have it always.
The OG Spank Bank, MS Paint.
Yeah, it did not work out.
MS Spank. I never played Sims.
It's not very. I mean, it's not very good.
Yeah,
I played Sim City 2000 a little bit, and then we had Sim Ant for some reason. That's a weird fucking game.
Huh?
It's like Sim City, but you're an ant colony. Which
That's
is just
really
bizarre.
fucking weird.
Just an old fucking PC game. Like, I don't even know. They're probably just like, my mom went to Office Depot and they were just like, oh, this is available.
Office Depot,
cheap.
yeah.
like that little rack that was like
that weird little thing in the corner with the big boxes and shit.
Yeah.
My son would like this.
Oh yeah, simulations.
I played a lot of weird fucking games like that.
Then we had some bangers, getting like Need for Speed 2, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Sure.
Some fucking legit games.
Hot Pursuit, yeah.
A lot of the games that we were playing on N64.
So biggest
Star Wars games?
Dude, no. So I remember one of my best memories of PC gaming when I was little was me and my dad going to, this was Future City back then. It wasn't Best Buy or anything.
Future
City, dude.
Damn.
Future City.
I don't have
remember that.
a living memory of Future City.
Closest I got is like Circuit City.
So
that sure wasn't Circuit City?
No.
What's Future City?
We never went to Circuit City.
Future City might have been like a Circuit City that like bought itself out of the franchise. Like we used to have the Dunkin' Donuts, like, and then it was Dunkin'. It was like Dippin' Donuts.
It could be like Future Shop or something like that. But Best Buy eventually took over that location down by the airport. The Home Depot and stuff.
Yeah,
like Cascade Station.
By Cascade Station, yeah, but on the other side of the bridge.
I can't find anything for Future City.
Future Shop.
Well, this is actually the past. So
yeah,
you have to go past Future. It's like it's near present city.
Former Future City, Future Shop.
Future Shop. It just brought up Best Buy.
Future Store.
Yeah, I think Best Buy probably bought them
Future Shop was a Canadian electronics store chain. It was established in 1982. Wow.
Did you live in Canada?
No.
Did you move and your parents never told you? Like, we're going to school. And
everything was the same.
Why are we in the car for 6 hours, Mom?
They made Fate merge with Best Buy.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Damn.
So that's,
They were still around until 2015.
Oh, really?
In 2015,
Holy
officially.
shit.
Damn, dropping some knowledge. I'm learning a lot.
So one of my favorite memories was going there and buying a 3D graphics card.
Oh shit.
Solely for Shadows of the Empire.
So how much was that at the time? It was like $600.
It was probably around $300.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had to get getting sound cards. That was
sound cards.
Get the Sound Blaster.
Once upon a time, Sound Blaster Pro.
So yeah, we did that, and then my dad took it home, but I was always too scared to play. Like Shadows of the Empire was a scary game for me. Like,
scary?
Dude, the Wampas were terrifying.
Oh, so not daunting, frightening.
Frightening.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was frightening.
And it's just in 3D and it's moving in 3D and you're like, this is completely different from what I'm used to.
Like, like not knowing what's around the corner and like stuff jumping out at you. I was like 5 years. I think I was about 5-6 years old.
Okay. I won't hold that against you.
I was scared of playing Ocarina of Time. I had to have my brother beat Goma for me because I was too afraid to fight that scary spider. That boss room is terrifying.
It's still terrifying.
I still have to call my brother and have him talk I'm playing that game. Like, nope.
And that's like, what?
PTSD.
Gomer? Who?
No, he knows Goma. Good. I mean, that was like 98 when it came out, so I was probably like 7 years old.
Young man. Remember, must have been last year, 2 years ago, you came down to my place and we busted out the N64 and you were playing through Shadows of the Empire. Did you beat it? Did you do it? Because you were like all cocky about it.
No, I was
like, oh, I can beat this today.
You can. It's a very easy game. Like, very easy.
I imagine it's
scary, but he's
just. I was just watching you play, but it looked janky. I was like, I don't know if I could play this.
I mean, it doesn't hold up. Most games back then don't hold up today, but. I mean, I have so much nostalgia for that. Like, I remember getting in Dash Rendar action figures.
Rendar!
Dude, I hope they bring him back someday.
Doesn't he have like the head covering? that he wears?
No,
And that was just how it was rendered. It was just really low.
yeah.
That was his face.
He has like the Chewbacca, sash, but like shoulder pads of that.
Okay, right, right.
Yeah.
What else did we play that week that you were down there? We beat Crash Bandicoot 2.
We did that. That was much shorter than I remember.
Yeah.
Much shorter.
I mean, that was like an evening of playing.
We were playing NBA Street Volume 2.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
A game that is much less complex than I remember it being, but like still just as fun.
Oh, still so much fun.
Great soundtrack, right?
Yeah. And what a bummer NBA Playgrounds was on the Switch.
Was it?
Really such a disappointment.
Kind of bummer. I still haven't actually played it. I bought it. And I'm just like, well,
you realize
this takes up 10 gigs
yeah.
of my 13 gigs that I have in the fucking memory.
A fucking game with one game mode, 3 maps, 19 characters, and is displayed at 540p takes up 10 gigs. Zelda took up, 12?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So the game was, worth it for the free Shaq Fu.
Yeah.
But
hoping for that. Hoping and praying.
Shaq Fu, I know, is a total meme. Is regarded as like the worst game of all time.
It is a pretty bad game.
And I said it can't be that bad. It's that bad. I of course picked up a copy when I found it.
Yeah, I played that back at your old apartment downstairs, and it was like, this fucking doesn't even work. Like, I can't do anything. The controls were ass.
I played that, and I'm like, I could probably program a better game.
It was funny.
In my free time.
Worth it for the meme value.
Sure. And now it's like a thing in the retro game community. Like, a lot of time you see these conventions, you have all these people who are ingrained in the community, YouTubers and personalities and whatever. And like at the end of the convention, everyone signs a copy of Shaq Fu and gives it to whoever. And it's like
a white elephant.
Yeah, it's just sort of a thing. You sign a copy of Shaq Fu, you give it to a fan, and it's a gag gift, but also it's like, hey, I thought of you, and here's my signature because I'm cool. It's a cool gift. I think I need to get Shaq Fu signed by Shaq. That's my bucket list right there.
That's the dream.
You know what I mean? And my copy of Barkley Shut Up and Jam, I'm going to get that signed. Oh, that's an actual basketball game.
Yeah. Michael Jordan in the Windy City?
I have
Trouble in the Windy City? I can't remember what that game's called.
I don't know. I don't have any recollection of that.
That was another weird. I don't think it was it might have been a basketball game.
Is it Super Nintendo?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't know. I've never heard of it. For a while there was my kind of a sub goal as a collector was just collecting all of the basketball games.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of weird ones. There's a lot of just NCAA tournament and 14 versions of NBA Jam and then a bunch of there's 2 Bulls versus Blazers NBA Finals games. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City.
4.8 out of 5?
Based on eBay and Paradise. It's a side-scrolling action video game developed by Electronic Arts, published by Ocean.
So it's not a basketball game. It's like a fucking action platformer.
Yeah.
That's
I was watching this GIF of a YouTube video, and it's just standing by a guy. There's some water.
There's some water.
Little dude with a big head. I don't know, something like that.
Weird. So your Chuck impression?
Might have been, dude. It might be Charles Barkley in that game. He didn't shut up, and he didn't jam.
Shut up and jam. The fucking art on that is just a camera. Aerial camera looking straight down and he's
taking
just
a selfie.
I just super goofy.
Did you ever play that RPG Maker game that someone made that was Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden?
No.
And it's an RPG where it's in the future where basketball has ruined the world. It's a post-apocalyptic game and basketball is outlawed. And you have to pick up the game. You have to pursue the sport because only the b-ballers can save the earth.
That's awful. I have to move this mic here because Nick's a little quieter.
Mic here.
A little quieter than we want him to be. This is a fluid process here. Who knows how this is going to turn out?
Impromptu.
I'm just kind of moving the mic around, hoping for the best.
Fingering me with your toes.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're pretty cramped quarters here. So anyway, fuck the PC. This is the Console Crusade. We just spent 25 minutes on the fucking PC.
It happens.
We're terrible.
That's about how much I spent on it.
But it led you to a point where you were never much of a handheld guy, right?
No.
But at some point...
I had a Game Boy here and there.
Okay.
I wanted one, and then my parents didn't get me one.
You weren't a Pokemon guy?
It was probably the inciting moment.
No.
Where,
no? Yeah, no?
No, I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon.
That's what I was going to say. It's the devil, but you wanted to play it because
it was witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft, so...
My parents
Still not allowed to play it, but
my okay.
Yeah, it's forbidden. You shouldn't be talking about it, really.
My parents were like that with really strange things.
oh yeah.
Remember-
that's the '90s Christian family for you.
Yeah, you remember Butt Ugly Martians?
No, that sounds funny, though.
Please look it up. Please look it up. You'll recognize it when you see it. Yeah, Butt Ugly Martians. It was like
Was
a
it like a
3D
TV
animated
show?
Yeah, Nickelodeon. I want to say. Like I wasn't allowed to like watch that, but like I got banned from Power Rangers.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yes, right.
That shitty like reboot style 3D animation.
Oh yeah.
What's the one with the sharks? Remember the sharks?
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks, dude.
Street. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Those
Mummies
are good,
Alive.
like Street Sharks, SWAT Cats.
No.
Okay.
Mummies Alive.
I mean, Gargoyles.
Mummies Alive, dude. Gargoyles,
Gargoyles
yeah.
legit, yeah.
Does not hold up. I tried watching that in 2013.
Great soundtrack.
Rough. Dude, Mummies Alive.
What? I don't know what that one is. Yeah.
Mummies Alive. That's badass. Okay,
Oh my god, this is fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with mummies.
no, come on.
There's 4 mummies. Hold on, let me get an image up.
Let's see what we got here. This is riveting audio.
Oh, 100%.
Let me see this
Wait,
shit.
which one's Raphael? Which one's Leonardo?
There's 3.
There's 3?
That's a bad guy.
Oh yeah, you're totally right. If there's 3 of them though, that just means you don't have Raph.
Right. Donatello. He's my favorite, but nobody ever really likes him, right?
Dude, Donatello's
He's a staff
purple.
guy. He's a staff.
He's my favorite because he was a fucking nerd, but he was a badass. He was like, I'll fucking whip your ass too.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Actually, no, just Nick's Mikey. Just combine Mikey
But
and Raph.
Mikey's like the hothead.
Combine Mikey and Raph.
The fucking hot-headed goofy guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, like the
All right,
nerd.
we'll
nerd,
have to
goofy
watch
guy,
the
and
show
leader.
and see like which one's a combination of Mikey and Raph.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
Pop it on
If
later.
I recall, it was not like Ninja Turtles. It was like a whole cast of mummies. It was like a whole group of them, not just 3 of them. It was a whole, ensemble.
There was
it was an ensemble
real
piece.
Well, on that poster there was 3.
Was it more like Totally Spies with mummies?
I don't recall. What's Totally Spies?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's 3 spy girls.
Totally Spies, dude.
That was a little bit later. It was a little bit after that. I was like,
No. What's the other big show that I'm thinking of that was sort of that era? You already said Gargoyles.
and there were SWAT cats.
What?
SWAT cats.
What
Dude.
the fuck is SWAT
The
cats?
2 cats that drive airplanes.
What the?
Like fucking fighter jets.
Oh.
If you saw it, you'd probably be like,
Probably not.
We always waxed
I
about,
only had basic cable, so like I had like channel 1 through 12.
we always talk about how
SWAT cats, the
cartoons-
radical squadron.
No, never. Cheetah pets, cheetah girls,
No.
cheetah men. I can't remember. No, cartoons were better back in my day. We've always kind of said that kind of thing. I have no recollection of SWAT cats. Wait,
No.
did the guy up there? I might
It looks like
recognize
Jersey
that guy.
Devil, but a TV show. You ever play that?
That's
game?
just their alter
Jersey
ego.
Devil?
They're like 2
No.
mechanics. They live in a city full of cats. Good show. Recommend.
This has been the Constant Crusade podcast. This has been the SWAT Cat podcast. Home with your favorite
Is
cheetah
it on
man.
Hulu?
Cat SWAT. I don't know.
Cat SWAT. Yo, that's a deep cut, my dude.
That's good, right?
So here's a little insight for you guys, which I don't think we've ever brought up in the pod. But when we were trying to formulate this podcast, August 2016, right? That sound right?
Yeah.
We were trying to think of names. We had a whole list. Gone Gold Games, some dumb shit that we were throwing out there. But we had settled briefly on Cart Swap. And we had a logo, kind of a janky logo that I was, throwing together, but Cart Swap. And you were all about it until somebody was like,
No. I had reservations beforehand.
did you? Okay.
Yes, and then as soon as it was confirmed, I was like, that just means if I thought of it and it was just me, I'd be fine. I'd leave it alone. But fucking Andrew was like, it kind of reminds me of like Pawn Stars.
Cart Swap. God damn it.
Kind of. You're right. We can't do it. But it's a good name. It sounds good. It rolls off the tongue. It's speakable.
Yeah.
You hear it and it's distinct.
I think if we ever take this podcast, seriously, and we branch into other things, we've got our GB podcast that eventually maybe we'll do, maybe not, who knows? But we could do Cart Swap, all about retro games. We just review retro games. That'll never happen. No. That'll never ever happen.
No, yeah. This what everybody needs is another fucking couple of white dudes reviewing retro games. Perfect.
Right. We're not nearly
Got a lot to bring to the table there.
Yeah. So we need to get to the point, Brennan, in your history where
All right.
you become a fucking shooter bro who basically
The game
stroking out young in the TV.
was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
So, no, actually,
right.
so I went from PC to my PlayStation 1. And then I went to PC.
At what point did you get a GameCube? Because you've played like all the Zelda games, which I didn't know until like last year.
All the Zelda games. I've played Ocarina of Time.
Right.
I played what was that? Twilight Princess.
Yeah, right.
But that was on Wii, so I played that on Wii.
Oh.
I played like an emulation of Majora's Mask, but I've never played Wind Waker.
Sounds like a PC guy.
Right.
Actually, that was on Xbox.
Oh, gross.
Like OG Xbox?
OG, dude.
Like a modded out.
My buddy had like a modded out Xbox. OG.
That was the best thing you could do onto an Xbox, honestly.
It was pretty cool.
Play Halo and then emulate.
Yeah.
Nintendo games.
Yeah, I went back to PC, and that's when I started getting into shooters, but who didn't, like, when the original Call of Duty came out? Like, that was crazy. Like,
my first Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, so
I wasn't
very
sure,
late,
bro.
Very late.
I didn't even get an Xbox 360 until 2011. Really late. And I mostly bought it to play the definitive version of Lego Star Wars. Like, I'm not exaggerating. And then that's when I branched out.
Skyrim.
Assassin's Creed 2. No, I didn't get Skyrim until I got Skyrim like a week after launch.
But 2011.
Yeah, but I got my 360 literally because I got it for like $100 on Craigslist. And
I thought you got your 360 like when you got Skyrim. Because I remember, did you get Skyrim, then you got a new TV because you couldn't read the text?
Yeah. Because I had a tube TV. I had a tube TV for the longest time. And
fucking impossible.
Because I wasn't really playing video games back in 2011. And I kind of had an itch to be like, all I had was I had like my old Super Nintendo. You know, my girlfriend would bring stacks of games home from Goodwill. And I would keep some, like, I hit the Mario and some of the dumb shit like Shaq Fu. But she would bring home stacks of Goodwill games. And I would just take them to see the game exchange when I needed cigarette money. I mean, she brought home all sorts of shit. I didn't know what the half of it was. I just left it in a box. Like I said, kept some of the cool stuff I played as a kid, and the rest just went to cigarette and beer money when I was fucking 19. Yeah, and so I regret that. That's when you could actually go to Goodwill and you could find retro video games. But yeah, I bought my 360. I was like, I want to play video games again. I want to play Lego Star Wars. Yeah. Because before, remember on PlayStation, it was split up into 2 discs, the prequels and the OG trilogy, and it was all sorts of janky and I was like, oh, they made a combo pack HD. I'm playing on a tube TV.
Super definition.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I played Call of Duty a little bit then.
Yeah, a couple of roommates were kind of into Call of Duty at the time.
Yeah,
but you did you start? Was that Call of Duty? Was that the one that?
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, so when the first one came out, you know, my dad brought it home.
Because Medal of Honor, that was kind of a big deal because that was that was fucking Spielberg, right? That helped work on that.
I think so. Allied Assault.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
That was a big game.
That was a big deal. I remember that. I had a friend who was playing on PC at the time. I had like an actual PC. I had like a shitty PC that you play old games on, but he had like a newer PC and he played Medal of Honor, and I just remember that being like, holy shit! And he had like time splitters and like,
time splitters.
Yeah.
But the sound in that game was fucking crazy. Like it sounded like guns.
Yeah.
Right.
I grew up. The shooters I played were. Remember Battlefield 1942 on the PC?
Yeah.
My old man was playing that. Somehow he went from Half-Life and Flight Sims and Battlefield competitively to like doesn't know his ass from a fucking phone charger. And it's like I haven't hit which is weird because he can still build a PC. Like whenever I build a computer, he helps me out. But like he's just like on the other hand just totally clueless. He'll call me up like yelling about Windows 10, goddammit! And it's like, what happened, you old man?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna become those old dudes?
Oh, probably. I already am.
Yeah, I'm pretty much there.
You guys are not.
The thing I'm most about
when it comes to technology.
No, but like you get to a certain point where like you have your personal life and you're just not following it like you used to.
But
like I remember I used to be on like websites and the technology. Whatever it was, whether that was IGN back in the day or something when it was like, okay.
Sure.
Looking at every new thing that was coming out and following up. But now I don't do that. And I'm like, something comes out, like a new movie comes out, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
But it's not, like, I just mean technology as a whole, or like, keeping up with pop culture is tough. It's hard. And knowing what the kids are into, that's tough.
Right.
Because it's, especially now in the internet age of just like, Twitter rapidly, it changes every day. 1 minute they're eating Tide Pods, the next fucking minute like Post Malone's. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just mean,
rappers.
like our generation, we went from analog to digital with a snap of a finger. When we were kids, we didn't have anything.
Right.
We ate mud, and the next thing you know, we have computers in our rooms with the internet, which wasn't a fucking thing when we were first going to school, right? Or it was very basic. And so we went from literally having a rotary dial phone in my parents' kitchen to having an iPhone before I graduated high school, right?
I mean, we're probably like the only generation that knows how to do both.
And so that's why I'm like, are we gonna ever lose it and be like, this newfangled technology, or is it just part of our nature now?
Maybe, but if it happens, it's just going to be one of those things that, well, now we don't know what to do.
We're fucking old. Now we're fucked.
It's just gonna be like a realization. Like,
Kids are going to be getting fucking implants in their eyeballs, and we're like, on my day, you carry around a phone.
Yeah.
You didn't have to let the government.
No, like that's just the sign of the beast,
corneas.
you know.
That's like the sign of the beast.
The way we bitch about
6'6".
baby boomers will be the future generations bitching about millennials.
Oh man,
Gotcha. Social
Fucking
justice.
millennials are a broad group though.
It's like a 10 or 15 year.
That's huge.
And
That's huge.
what's the definition of a baby boomer? Can't even say it. It's too many.
There, so little happened in that time frame that baby boomers were being born. It was like the same era. 15 years for us, someone who was born in, I don't know what the cutoff is, but someone born in 1985 versus 1995.
By like little, you just mean like technology-wise, not like
pop culture.
But I mean, at the same time, like our childhood is very similar to someone who was born in 1980, and even someone before that. So it makes sense.
Dude, the 80s and 90s were vastly
I'm just saying,
different from each other.
Got a lot of reruns. I watched Batman the Animated Series. That show
sure.
fucking started in 1992, but I watched reruns of it on WB. Like,
Sure.
we get a lot of the same runoff.
There's
a lot of
crossover there.
And if you're a 10-year-old playing NES, or if you're a 5-year-old playing an NES that you inherited from your older brother or whatever, it's the same kind of thing. That's just your childhood.
yeah.
I mean, I grew up with an NES, and so
And I didn't.
I had a lot of that crossover from the 80s with my folks, but it's, I don't know. Maybe you're right. But it's just strange to think about, like, where's that cutoff point? And when are we going to be the old people?
Like your buddy who was on the show you recorded before tonight, he's like 24, 23.
23, 22.
So, I mean,
yeah.
that's kind of a big difference. Like, his first console is probably like a Game Boy or something, a Game Boy Advance or something like that.
His first console was a PS1. We talked about it. It was PS1, I think. Yeah.
Everyone had a PS1.
Yeah.
That shit is the best-selling console of all time.
Almost. I mean, yeah, it's the third best behind PS2
PS1?
and Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Wii is, I just don't, the Wii might be the second best selling console ever, or dedicated console, but like, it fucking has no game. Like, it's not,
No,
I just don't consider it a,
they bought it. They like how many nursing homes bought it for Wii Sports?
right.
Or
80
Netflix.
million of those, they never played anything.
How many PS2s were sold because of the DVD player? How many PlayStations were sold because of the CD player? I mean,
That's true.
it's a multifaceted device. It got sold. That's what matters.
Think about that. Sony consoles have always been
Except for PS4.
on the cutting edge. Yeah, except for PS4.
Can't play a fucking 4K Blu-ray. Goddamn
Isn't that
assholes.
crazy? Those fuckers. Oh, listen, PS1 was a fucking everyone's first CD player. PS2 was everyone's first DVD player.
I never played a CD
PS3
on PS.
was everyone's first Blu-ray player. PS4, the fuckers own 4K Blu-rays and they can't fucking play 4K Blu-rays. Like that's
Only on Xbox.
okay, dude. Okay, we need to get back to your history here. We gotta get up to the point where because
we'll get there.
We're getting fucked up.
I know this happens. It fucking happens. Xbox Games Pass, which is something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about when we get there, Brendan, because you own an Xbox One.
I do.
As do I. Neglected fucking consoles.
I don't remember the last one I played.
Right. And I remember you were the Xbox guy. You were the bro coming from 360.
I was. Yeah. Well,
Because the 360 got it right.
the 360 was awesome,
Yeah.
and we can get up to that, you know, if we want to actually do chronological history.
Yeah, dude. Talk about 360 because we got PC.
So basically,
PlayStation,
I mean,
PC
yeah, I
game.
mean, I don't have much. I went from the PS1 back to the PC, and played. That's when I learned how to play competitive, shooters, Call of Duty.
That's when I learned how to swear.
That's when I learned how to swear. Like,
This is when
playing
I
Call of
learned your
Duty
mom was such a
online.
whore.
I didn't even know what whore meant, but thankfully I had a PC so I could look it up.
Oh, God.
But no, and then like I got an OG Xbox for my birthday one year. I played Halo and I played a few
KOTOR?
other games. I played KOTOR.
Was that on Xbox?
I got
Yeah, it
KOTOR
was
2 for my birthday.
exclusive.
Yeah. It was on PC. I played on PC.
Console exclusive.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fun for a minute. But then I wanted to play guitar, so I sold and bought a guitar. And then
Worth it.
Yeah, totally.
Did you guys know that Brennan plays guitar?
Sick guitars.
Yeah,
Shreds
it
it up.
is.
Super sick. It wasn't until actually going into my senior year that I really started like getting into games. Like I'd always played games and I loved them, but
You weren't a gamer.
I didn't.
It wasn't a part of you.
I didn't have the ability to play all the games that I wanted to. Like all the things that looked cool, that I was really interested in that I
Still
saw
dependent on
online.
mom and dad. Be like, hey, can you buy this for me?
Right.
You ask for fucking Chrono Cross and you get the Cars Pixar game
Yeah.
for
It
Christmas.
was birthday and Christmas.
Actually, I do remember one year I asked my grandma for the Toy Story 2 action game.
Bro,
And she actually got it for me.
classic game.
Swish.
Played the shit out of that on
Oh,
PlayStation.
that was, that was on PC for me.
Is that the one where you had to there was like a swimming area? I remember
Yeah.
there was like a weird tunnel you had to swim through.
Yeah, dude, there's the storm drain level. Like,
the level
there was a bunch of
with the
secrets in it
plane.
that I could never figure out.
That was a damn.
I'd love to go back and like see how stupid I was.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know how well they hold up. There's 3D platforming games. Action platforming games. Remember the last? It was like last or second to last level with the airplane. You're trying to run down the runway and catch up with the plane, if I recall correctly. Like you're trying to save Jesse, right? Who's like being shipped off to.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you're Buzz. You're trying to save Woody. I think
Something like that.
Yeah, and I remember you're on the runway and you're like running around collecting. I don't know. Maybe
It's
you're
like
collecting.
Pizza Planet tokens or something.
Yeah, I see.
Or
so long ago.
you had to collect. I think you had to collect like these tokens to like get the power, like the fast boost thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been so long.
We know what we're doing on our weekend.
Yeah. So it wasn't until like I really started getting into playing, a lot of different types of video games until, I got my own job and I bought a 360.
Right.
Got a hard drive for it. And
Big
went to
wiggin'.
Get the Wi-Fi
and this was
adapter.
when Game Crazy was still a thing. Go buy some used games at Game Crazy.
I miss Game Crazy.
Yeah.
With the Hollywood video combination there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game
Movies
Crazy
and
would
games.
let you they'd
You
let
rent
you
the
run
console.
handheld games.
Yeah.
The only place that ever did that. Game Boy and DS games when that was a thing. I miss that place. I miss video rental stores. The Blockbuster in Sandy, Oregon's closed. I never had a chance to go out there.
Did they close it?
Yeah.
they
Holy
closed
shit!
in
I went there
December.
like last summer.
I'm real bummed out I didn't get to go.
That's one of the last ones.
Because it's one of the
There's like
and we've talked about this is
They just had regular DVDs and like Xbox 360 games. It was funny.
they didn't sell Blu-rays or
They
rent
probably had
Blu-rays?
a few Blu-rays, but they had a lot of DVDs. It was probably because most people in Sandy don't have Blu-ray players.
Sure. It's just one of those weird things where like, nostalgia is such a powerful thing as we get older, right? And so many of the things we experience as a kid, we can still experience. We can go to arcades. We can go to fucking Chuck E. Cheese if we wanted to. Like, whatever it is. Like,
I can't have a restraining order.
okay. You guys want to think he's joking. Actually has nothing to do with children. It's he has a thing for mice. He can't stand them. He actually beat the shit out of Chucky once. It's actually Chucky who's got the...
Thanks for the cover up, EJ.
So,
I appreciate that.
I'm trying to save my ass too here.
Really embracing.
All
really
right.
embarrassing
On a
myself.
serious note.
Blockbuster, fucking R.I.P.
You-
I remember they put that
no.
Blockbuster in when Gresham Station was first put up. And they had that Blockbuster
was-
over by Verizon.
I was in third grade when Gresham Station started developing, like big time. Second, third grade.
Yeah, like middle school, I remember that was when they still had the QFC. We're just totally waxing about just a small town kind of thing. Not really a small town, but just a towny thing.
Well, for us, it was a big deal because in Gresham, Oregon, which is a suburb of Portland, the closest mall was either Clackamas Town Center, which was a hike out in the boonies, or Lloyd Center, which is downtown Portland. So when Gresham
Not
Station
downtown.
went in, well, it's all fucking downtown.
No, I mean, it's not. But
You know what I mean? Gresham Station was like this outdoor strip mall that went in. And for us, it was like, oh my God, we're getting like,
those are like the Max's being built
Zoomies.
too, so we're getting like,
Zoomies.
dude, yeah,
Zoomies.
hanging out behind that Zoomies.
Zoomies is eternal. They're still
Borders.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Borders is in there.
Borders Books, man, I miss it. It's a craft warehouse.
I do miss having a bookstore.
Borders is sick. I actually would go there after school sometimes, just like pick up a book and hang out and read.
That was my library. I literally went to Borders like
How many
Better than the
Calvin,
library that we
how many
have.
Calvin and Hobbes books did you get at Borders?
like the entire collection. I remember I was 7 years old and I only owned like two. I owned one I had a copy of The Days Are Just Packed, and I got 2 or 3 of the small square collections for Christmas.
Right, yeah. Like
When I was
Scientific
6.
Progress, those Boink, like
Yeah.
those ones? Okay.
Yeah, when I was 6. I actually have video of getting those. I was just looking through all the family videos, and the moment where I finally got like another Calvin Hobbes, I didn't know there was more. I thought Days Were Just Packed was it.
It was a fucking treat.
And so I got 2 or 3 new ones, and then it was on my 7th birthday a few months later that all I wanted was Borders gift cards for my birthday, and I went out and I bought every single trade paperback and got all of the Calvin and Hobbes. But Borders was like, I lived at Borders. Almost every day after high school, you go to Gresham Station, you get some Panda fucking Express, you try to bum a smoke from somebody, and you go sit in the cafe at Borders and you either read or you chop it up with the homies in the back. You know what I mean? Try not to get beat up by the big kids. You know? So yeah, it's interesting times, but that's where the Future Shop was. I mean, the Best Buy.
I mean, the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Wait, was there a Blockbuster in that?
No,
Yeah.
there's a Blockbuster. That's where Panera is now. There was a Blockbuster there.
Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah.
By the Verizon store. Oh my God.
yeah.
I thought the only Blockbuster was by
There was 3 in town.
the one by which is now Chipotle.
There was Troutdale.
Right?
It was that whole center was Blockbuster. Yeah, the
Holy
Chipotle,
shit.
the new barbecue place.
Yeah, the Surf burger place. I can't remember what that place is called.
Surf? Boardwalks.
Boardwalks, yeah. It literally has a fucking surfboard. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no, that's gone.
Is it really?
Oh yeah,
Okay, I drive by it. I don't look at it.
No, nobody went there.
Clearly.
Remember when Chipotle shut down for like months because
Yeah,
of the
they
E.
look at E.
coli
coli.
thing?
Yeah.
That's unprecedented. They're just like, we're going on
Multiple
hiatus.
did.
Yeah, they just
Multiple
shut
did. Like,
down.
all of them.
We really gotta get rid of all this lettuce.
Well, I wonder if was it just a tainted food thing, or did it literally like
I think it pretty well. I'm
infest their fucking?
pretty sure it was a lettuce thing because there was like a few like outbreaks of it.
But they probably
Chipotle just doubled
they-
down. They're like, yeah, we bought all the lettuce, and now every store is infected.
Oh
Yeah.
my
We got
God.
poop everywhere.
Brennan, as a nurse, how do you combat E. coli?
I
Wash
am
your
not in
hands.
the state to talk about this right now.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, Brennan, you're a gamer.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, as how shall we say, a reformed Microsoft fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
You've moved on with your life. You've grown up a little bit since
I've grown up a little bit.
the good old days. You're a
360.
PS4 guy now. I mean,
Yeah,
360 was great.
I play PS4, yeah, mainly.
And I get why you would have wanted to stick with the Xbox ecosystem, because you went from 360 with their Xbox Live Arcade was revolutionary.
Got your
Online
achievements.
play.
You got your gamer tag.
And
Yeah,
to be honest,
yeah, totally.
I was all like when Microsoft announced the Xbox One, I was all aboard. The always online, sharing games with your friends, not having to like my friend could buy this one and I could play it, and then he could like play mine. I was all about that. People did not want online only, digital.
No, that's
everything. It was silly, but also it was
No. They tried to. They did the Apple thing where they said,
Yeah.
"Here's where we see a place we can innovate. Now let's force obsolescence and piss everybody off. Let's take the headphone jack away and mark up our headphones to $160 and piss everybody off." That's not how you do it.
That's just not the way I thought about it.
You could have done the way they did it, but still innovate and do the sharing of digital games, and then that's incentive to want to go digital, versus physical. Like there's a way they could have done it.
I mean, granted, like I'm in a different place than I was now. Like, yeah,
Sure.
but
In hindsight, I think it was like kind of a cool idea.
It's a cool idea.
I think it would have been really cool.
They got endless shit for it. And it didn't help that PlayStation 4 was a stronger console and it was $100 cheaper.
Right.
Yeah.
So it immediately, that got Xbox off to a huge, huge disadvantage.
But the Kinect being mandatory,
Right.
all the
my
benefits.
Kinect fucked, like it stopped working like
if it ever did.
a year
fucking
after like it just stopped working, you know. And now they don't even have it. Like
Yeah, they don't even have
it's
the
not
port.
even a thing.
Yeah.
Like
Even the adapter cords are like so rare that people are trying to like resell them at like bumped up prices.
It's
people
crazy.
Like, bought hundreds of them. You'd have to hoard
Yeah.
them away. It's like some sort of
Well, the thing is, like,
holy grail.
I think they were on the right track with some of the stuff that they wanted to do, but the fact that it had to always be online and their response to people who were like, because reliable internet doesn't even exist ubiquitously in the U.S. in a lot of places. Reliable internet,
right.
right.
let alone the world. So it's like that was, and their answer to it was, well, get the Xbox 360 if you can't be online.
And to be fair,
Shit.
the U.S. has some of the worst infrastructure as far as internet goes.
Yeah.
Because everyone else started getting internet later, so they could start with better internet
Yeah.
from the get-go, whereas we had a bunch of like DSL lines everywhere.
Sure.
So a lot of like places in the Midwest where they don't have cable modems or their internet, just the infrastructure is bad because they already went all in on the old shit.
Yeah. What I find interesting, and this is skipping ahead a little bit, but seeing how they wanted to do the copy protection on games, which would have killed the last of retailers, would have killed the used game market, GameStop's like that. GameStop's transitioning to like knickknacks and trinkets, but like, you know, if they had killed that market, then they would have stopped carrying the consoles, and it just would have been a whole mess. That was stupid anyway. The DRM was a dumb thing. But now we're seeing with Xbox Games Pass, or Game Pass, singular, some retailers are refusing to carry Microsoft products because Game Pass is essentially rendering them useless. And so it's like they kind of ended up in the same place anyway. It's just much more consumer friendly now.
Yeah, it was beforehand this is a consumer revolt, and now it's like retailers are getting pissy, but the consumer doesn't really care what the retailer thinks. They just want the end product.
Well, in Microsoft, they're probably making more off it. Like they most likely never cared about like how much it was actually making, rather than having their presence in the market.
Right, they're a software company.
Yeah, they're doing just fine without Xbox.
Sure, it's like all their first party games now. You can play it on PC, you can cross buy, you can play it on Windows 10, you can play it on your Xbox with the same game that you bought.
Yeah,
but that's fucking great. That's like a huge consumer win. If you have both options.
That's one like argument. That's just like, you know, I love PlayStation. I play it mostly, like that's my main console. It's in my room. I use it every day. But that bugged me about like when PS4 and Xbox came out, and then when Microsoft started doing this, is like, oh, but PlayStation has exclusives. Yes, that's the exact reason I bought a PS4 was because of Bloodborne. Like that
Uncharted trilogy.
Literally, fuck Uncharted.
Yeah. he finally comes around.
Oh my god.
Those games are mediocre.
Sorry. They were fun for an hour.
For what they were, yeah.
But
I feel about Last of Us, though.
Last of Us was great. Yeah. Easily the best Uncharted game.
Right. It's what Uncharted wanted to be. Like real characters, real story, like
the road,
better,
but a game.
Cover you sure. Yeah. The shooting mechanic were better, but
everything was better about it. Uncharted 4 was fun. It is what it is. It's an action set piece. It's like, check out how beautiful we can make this game.
It was big 10 years ago. Doesn't hold up to in 2018.
It still sells like a goddamn magical thing, though.
People are silly.
Uncharted did Tomb Raider better, but Tomb Raider does that better now.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense.
Tomb Raider 2 is like, well, because it's not just like a crappy cover shooter with cutscenes.
No.
It's like, here's an open world, like, action adventure RPG game.
Yeah.
both.
I love the first Tomb Raider, the reboot, the 2013 reboot. I didn't play the second one.
You did. No, it was great.
Mad shit about it, yeah.
Loved it.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah. That's the problem, though, is PS4 has tons of great exclusives, and exclusives for everybody, whether you're playing fighting games or whether you're playing fucking JRPGs, whether you're playing these mainstream AAA, whatever. Xbox, they've done a lot of great things to improve the Xbox One infrastructure, and now the Xbox One X is like, I'm not going to certainly buy one, but it's a really cool...
If you're in the market to buy a console, I would probably say, if you already have a PS4, you don't need to get a PS4 Pro.
Right.
I would say get an Xbox One X, because that shit's real cool.
Yeah. It's really great hardware for the money.
If you're looking to play all the games that are out now, I'd get an Xbox
if you're a
One
multiplayer guy. But again, for me, I only own a PlayStation to play multiplayer games with my friends who own PlayStations.
Right, yeah.
Or to play their exclusives.
Yep.
That's really what it gets to, is that PlayStation, they got it from the get-go. And online play is so important. Everyone's buying the new Call of Duty. Everyone's playing.
Well, yeah, and that's the difference from 360 to PS4 is 360 had Call of Duty. Like
they started it. That was where it's really got off the ground.
Exclusivity, and then they saw that Sony was doing better. Yeah. Switched over. Everybody switched.
It's interesting.
That's the thing now.
Well, Call of Duty was on PS3, wasn't it? Also, it's just that nobody wanted PSN,
but
they got hacked.
PSN was
everything was garbage.
It was free. So it was a free service. They didn't give a shit about it. Mm-hmm. It was terrible, just absolutely garbage.
Remember the hack came and the service was down.
No, for
a while,
months.
A good
months.
Like it's
more
insane.
than a month.
It was a while.
I think it was around 3 months.
It's interesting.
And they
to
just
look,
launched a first party game that was like online only.
Do you remember Mag?
Oh my god!
It was like a.
There's like that was like the 150 player game.
Mag,
yeah.
No,
I remember
don't
hearing about it. They launched a flight game, like an airplane game.
Oh, okay.
Around that time
Really?
when they got hacked. Yeah.
It's historically interesting to look back at how each generation has a dominant console and console manufacturer, and it's kind of their own hubris sort of is their downfall, and they go into the next generation thinking we can do whatever we want, and it's the other platforms that are forced to catch up, that they innovate and then take over. It's happened since, you go to Nintendo, and then
I don't know about that because PS3 and Xbox 360, at the end of it,
sure,
they sold the same amount.
I was going to bring that up.
And the Wii sold more, but they didn't sell as many games.
Right, but you look
first
back,
party, but nothing
and you
else.
look at the generation, it was the 360 won that generation. Microsoft was the king of the fucking hill.
They definitely set the standard that PlayStation had to copy.
Yeah. But by the end, they sold, the parity between the consoles. I mean, they were right on par with each other. Not only games-wise, but consoles sold and
services.
Infrastructure. It was all, it was, I think they were great. And I got my PS3 much, much later and ended up loving the thing. But it's funny just to see how it went from, like, Nintendo did the same thing. Nintendo was the king of the hill, and then they thought we can do anything we want. And then they fucking crash and burn. And Microsoft, they crash and burn. And, Sony going from the PS2 to the PS3, they crash and burn. Even Nintendo back in the day, they thought they could do whatever they want. And then they spawned their biggest competitor in Sony. Like, it's just, every generation there's this back and forth. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going to happen next. We're going to go to PS5? Or we're going to just keep iterating with the Xbox One X? Like, what's going to happen? And who's going to dominate? I don't think, now that there's parity between all the consoles, I mean, the Nintendo Switch is its own thing, right?
Right.
But are there going to be any more leaps that's going to set Microsoft apart from Sony? And now that just the climate, it's like, Games Pass is an answer to PlayStation Now.
Kind of.
It's different, but it was an answer to it.
I wouldn't.
Kind of, yeah. It's a similar
I feel like
service.
it's more of a slap in the face.
It's
of PlayStation Now.
Yeah, I mean, my Game Pass is way better.
Yeah.
You actually download them.
It's cheaper.
Yeah,
There's no
it's
latency.
cheaper. There's no
Right.
streaming.
But Sony's going to answer that in the next 6 months.
I mean, there's like PlayStation 2, PlayStation
Do you
2,
really think Sony is going to allow like all of their first party games to become available day one for $10 a month?
They don't need
So
to.
that means God
They
of
don't
War.
need to.
That means
Sure.
that
No,
means
I know.
Spider-Man. That means Days Gone.
That's the thing, though. Is there?
Everything.
It's more like Xbox. I don't think they have the confidence that those games are going to sell well enough to actually recoup their costs. I mean, especially look at Crackdown. That game's been in development for like 6 years.
Exactly.
They just want people to play it.
Yeah, they want people to play it, and they want people to be in a subscription service because people will let that shit run.
Yeah.
And that'll just be money in the bank. It'll be recurring funds. Companies love recurring funds.
But it's innovative. And it's consumer friendly.
No, I think
so.
it's a great idea.
So what happens when
It's innovative, but it's also forced into that position because they're on their back foot.
Sure.
And that's where Xbox makes their most brilliant decisions. I mean, think about the original Xbox Live was on the Xbox. It was on the first generation.
Mm-hmm.
You had online play, and they had Xbox Live Arcade. There were arcade games on the Xbox before the 360.
Mm-hmm.
And then they continued with that. They pushed that further with the 360, and then that was what made them the most popular console.
So here's what I envision. In 2 years, we're going to be talking about how Sony crashed and burned because they didn't answer Game Pass. And now that subscription model that we're seeing with Xbox now, that's going to be the future of video games. And Sony's going to completely fail because they refuse to answer, thinking we're leading this race. We can do whatever we want. And it's just going to flip-flop back to Xbox.
But the only thing is Sony, Microsoft actually has to come out with good first party.
Sure, they
games.
have to.
Like,
But that's more...
they've been saying that they're like doing it. They have all these things, but we have yet to see anything of like fruition. Fucking Recore.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to make a solo PS4 owner that isn't like one of you guys to go out and buy an Xbox One.
Yeah.
But they have been super cheap, and that's like the best time to buy an Xbox is like this Black Friday because they were $200 and you got like a free game with it. And it's like, yeah, you know what? If I want to play OG Titanfall, which you probably don't because it's an online game, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you want to play Halo 6 when that comes out, then you're going to want to jump on.
Yeah.
And that was the best time to do that.
And there are some good games on the service that it's like for $10 a month, like,
Fuck it. You pay that for Netflix and you hardly ever use.
well,
Most people hardly
I watch
ever
The
use.
Office every day.
Yeah, but you can just download The Office.
Yeah.
You probably have those DVDs, you fucking weirdo.
You know what? For a show as popular as The Office, there is no Blu-ray collection. You can buy the Blu-rays for the last couple seasons, but there's no collection, and there's no way to buy the first couple seasons. It
Really?
infuriates me.
Crazy.
And it's actually funny looking back because there's a joke in The Office about
Is that show on ABC?
NBC. Yeah,
NBC? ABC?
NBC. Right? Yeah.
Was it?
Trying to think if that was like a Disney thing that they're gonna put on their streaming service when they finally jump ship from Netflix.
I wonder. I hate how we're kind of seeing the beginning of the end for streaming as we know it.
Yeah, it's so easy to do that it makes sense for each network to have their own service and
So
not
it's cable again.
I mean,
It's just cable.
Netflix is just going to be your Daredevils. Well, no, actually, no, it's not.
it's gonna be your second HBO.
It's going to be
have their own original
your-
content
yeah.
and then
That's why
That's all
they've
it's
been
gonna be.
pushing that. But it just sucks because we're back. We all jumped to streaming because we were sick of the way cable handled their bullshit. We're sick of the ads. We're sick of the watered down fucking content and the convenience of streaming.
being stuck in a package deal when you would rather just choose carte blanche, but
Now we're going right back to it.
you're gonna have that, but it's gonna cost a shit ton more.
Wait, and then you start looking at the potential net neutrality laws being repealed and how that could, not only are we paying these individual services, but now we have to pay our internet provider potentially as they try out new business models. Like, can you imagine paying like our internet service provider for X amount of packages, but then paying for the subscription service?
Well, initially it's not going to be that. It's going to be
No,
you're
but-
paying the same, but you have a fast track for X, Y, and Z
Right.
networks, and it's going to be shitty in that way. And then they're going to scooch on over where everything else costs more as opposed to the other things costing less.
So this is going to lead to an uptick in piracy, and it's going to lead to an uptick in people getting busted for piracy, and it's just going to be this whole early 2000s, boom, advent of this digital age, people not knowing how it works, and it's just going to be it's going to repeat itself. It's fucking bullshit.
And we can all blame Microsoft for this.
What's that saying?
History. Oh, I'm sorry. It does it again and again.
Oh man.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing to look at, and it's a scary thing. We'll see how it plays out. But I remember when you brought that up the first night, and I was so like, "You're fucking wrong. You're full of shit. It's not gonna happen." That was more me like afraid of the future. The more I sit with it, the more I see how
You think
things
that's
are
what we
playing out.
all do. We just sweep it under the
No, you're wrong. You're fucking wrong.
There's no way that can happen.
No, not to me.
We've moved past that.
Yeah, come on. But here we fucking are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. With the Game Pass thing, I think it's interesting. This could be the future of games. And in a couple years, we'll be talking about how Sony really fucked up by thinking they were tough shit, and they completely crash and burn. And who knows if that happens? But I think this is it's an innovative thing. If they can start putting out good games, Sony will have to answer.
Yeah.
They'll be forced to at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like with a service like that, though, Sony's in the position to get into that a lot easier than they were with the PS3, where it was like a lot of brand new shit, like having a network, like that was brand new shit for them, whereas this would just be offering the things for a price.
Right.
It's just activating the service, and they're not going to do that until they're like slowing down sales of their consoles, which they're not. Like, they sold more consoles last year than they did in their first year.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And part of me almost hates that because I'm ready for a next generation. Not that we'll have a crazy big leap, but
That's the thing. Like, I don't know what a next generation would look like.
we could probably get 4K 60 frames
And you
with
know,
a slight
without-
uptick in visual fidelity.
Well, I mean, that's dependent more so on the price. They have to, because they are trying to do like a half step with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, but those are expensive. I don't think they're going to have a realistic next generation until they could do better than that, but also be $500 or less,
Well, that's every console's expensive when it first comes
or
out,
$400 or less.
right?
Not the Nintendo Switch. That was actually $300.
It's also technology from 2006.
Hey, man, it's the best tablet I've ever owned.
You've also not owned any decent tablets.
Hey, you had to put decent in there.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I've had a very decent tablet. Thank you.
Oh, gosh. No, it's like the Switch is great for a lot of reasons, and many reasons we've talked about. It's a phenomenal console, but it's 2006 technology crammed to a tablet. I know technology gets smaller, but it's still, they're saying they want the Switch to be relevant in 6 years. You're fucking crazy, Nintendo.
But, I mean, I think that's possible because Indies have really grown a shit ton in the past, like,
The Switch will not survive 6 years in its current iteration. That's insane. You're going to lose third-party support in a year.
That's the thing. That's what I mean? Indies are kind of taking over what the generic multi-plat AAA has turned into. It's a very expensive and risky business to put out a multi-million-dollar video game every year and hope that you sell Call of Duty numbers. And that's why you see EA fucking killing developers left and right, because they're spending all their money and being like, well, we can't recoup the cost. This only sold 9 million copies and didn't sell 15, so you're dead to us.
That's insane. Yeah.
Like, that's stupid numbers. That's hubris.
Yeah.
And there's no way that they're going to be able to keep up with that with, like, the art assets necessary for, like, a 4K 60 game. Like, that's just insane.
Yeah.
So you're going to see those, like, companies still trying and doing their one title each year, or their sports title, the Call of Duty. But that's going to live on Xbox and Sony while they're battling it out. And Nintendo can just live off of everyone else who can... They're just making games that can run on anything, and they're just as fun. Like, people still buy those games.
But are they huge moneymakers the way that we think of these AAA titles, or are you just going to see game sales plummet across the board?
For who? For Nintendo or for the third parties that are
for Nintendo?
Well, I mean, they're making 30% of all their...
But it's
sales.
just like, Nindies are like a great thing to tide us over, and there are a lot of great things coming out on the platform. But like,
and if they're digital only, they're making a lot more than that.
They're not. Nintendo has not sold 14 million Switches in less than a year because of Nindies.
Well, no, they just sold that because they're first party, and that's what they do. They make a shit ton of games.
No, but that's how they get people, at least like me, like where I want those, but then hey, like I'm bored. What is there I can play on my Switch? Like,
I think it sounds cooler than it is. Most people are excited about the idea of these indie games than they are actually going out and buying these games and playing them.
No, because, well, I mean, maybe, but for me, like, if I'm like, there's this game I want, like, I'm way more likely to buy that game that I've wanted to play on my Switch than what's available on PS4. Even if it's available sooner on PS4, I'm like, if it's coming to Switch, I'm just going to get it there, because I can play it anywhere I want. I can play it whenever I want.
Yeah, the Switch is great in that regard.
A lot more comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, anything I can play while I'm taking a shit, I'm all about it. So,
yeah, it's cool. I mean, also you're seeing a lot of resurgence, and like people, obviously you can bitch about getting a 360 game ported to Nintendo Switch. Like, oh, this is an old game, but it's also still kind of cool. You bought Skyrim again. You obviously, you fucking regretted it. There's a lot of people who bought Skyrim again. They're like, this is fucking cool. It's the first time I played it, or I played it, 7 years ago, and now I'm playing it on a handheld. This is really fucking cool. Or Dark Souls coming out in May. I'm going to fucking buy that shit. And I'll be playing on a Nintendo console in my hands.
Can't fucking wait.
This is the part where I'm going to go get another drink, go to the bathroom. Y'all can talk about Dark Souls for a little bit.
I want you to be into Dark Souls.
I've tried.
You need a guide.
You told me about this back in 2013. Last year, I modded it out on PC and tried to play it. And it's just not my kind of game.
That's just a bummer to me.
I don't like just being thrown into a world and saying, go forth with no direction.
It's good, not, dude.
That's what everyone says. That's the fucking rhetoric surrounding this kind of bullshit game. Get good,
it's
get
not
good.
A bullshit
I don't want to
game,
get good. I want to have fun. And it's not fun. I don't like being dropped in the middle, not knowing what to do, dying every time I step out.
The fun of it, for me, isn't the difficulty. It's part of it. Because overcoming difficulty is fucking great. You like Meat Boy. It's sort of similar in that it's like, I know I can do this. I know what I did wrong. I can do better. And then you do better and you're like, I fucking did it. It's the difference between like...
With Dark Souls, I don't know what I did wrong. I went out, I try to attack things and I die. I don't know what I'm doing or not doing.
Don't attack them. Let them attack you and see what you can do to counter that.
That's just not fun. That's not fun for me. It's not my kind of game. I've played it. I've played Bloodborne. It's not my kind of game.
But did you play it?
Fuck off, Brennan.
I just want you to like it because it's a cool co-op game too.
Yeah.
I want you to like Skyrim. And I want you to like The Witcher. And I want you to like
Assassin's Creed. I can't play Skyrim with you. You don't want me to like Assassin's Creed? You don't even fucking like Assassin's Creed.
No, the only good Assassin's Creed game.
What,
Assassin's
2?
Creed 4.
Oh.
2 is cool, but it doesn't hold up.
2's cool. 4 is really good. Origins is pretty great.
I heard the Origins
is pretty great.
Here's the Dark Souls of Assassin's Creed.
Oh, wow.
No, it's actually just an RPG.
Right. Which I'm all about.
That's all it is.
And here's the thing. And I said this to Leaf, and I said this to you, and you kind of poked fun at me for it. But I think, I'm always trying to figure out, what do I like when I don't like? I think open world, third-person action-adventure RPGs are my game. And Nick, you said, yeah, everybody likes that. That's why they're so popular. But it's just like having the RPG elements where I feel like I'm able to progress. I'm able to like have some control over the way my character progresses. be able to explore, but have the direction, just visceral combat. I've got 2 buttons, and I'm just fucking people up.
Like blinking down.
Sounds like you're saying Dark Souls.
It's totally different. But that's my kind of game, and I think I'm finally comfortable with, like, there are a lot of RPGs I'm never going to play. It's not for me. It sounds like I like it, but it's not for me. And I'm okay with that.
It's fine. There's a lot of RPGs. And
There's a lot of them.
They take a lot of time.
And a lot of them are really not great. Or don't hold up well.
Yeah.
The way that, you might want them to.
It depends on what you're used to. A lot of people really like having that grind. It's like, you like Pokemon Red and Blue, right?
Yeah.
Those games are a lot grindier than the newer Pokemon games.
Oh, yeah.
They're not good to play, comparatively,
Bro, I played my Pokemon Full Color Red that I picked up. It's Pokemon Red completely remade with all the assets from Gen 2. It's kind of like the perfect version. Not of the game, because we have Fire Red and Leaf Green, but it's the perfect version of your nostalgia. Where it's still got the same aesthetic, but just slightly refined, like the second gen Pokemon games. So it's just like the perfect version, the way we remember those games. Really satisfying. I loved it. And maybe that's just my nostalgia blinding me.
You also have weird nostalgia where you didn't play those games with music on, so you don't even know the soundtrack.
No, I did. But a lot of times I didn't, because I was playing at night. I remember playing by moonlight, literally at the beach house on vacation with my family.
Damn, that's romantic.
And no, come on, no. I was in bed.
Oh,
no, come on, you fuck. It was my brother, me, and mom in bed. Come on, dude. I was like 7.
Yeah,
and
man.
I was not allowed to play.
7.
I was meant to go to bed. I was told to go to bed. I wasn't allowed to play video games after it was bedtime.
Got that window behind you.
Literally, a slat in the bamboo fucking blinds, trying to play by moonlight, just ever so slightly. And the way I had to sit, my mom's face is right here, sleeping, and I'm like here trying to get the moonlight.
And you're just like
every time she moved, I just fucking fling it back, trying to hide. And then I definitely got caught because I was sitting there trying to play. And I'd see, how much can I push the sound? Can I put it just a little bit up?
No.
Just a little
not
bit
even
up?
a little.
Nope.
Not even.
Because it was a high pitch, oscillating whine that you get from those speakers.
You had a low HP Pokemon.
My parents couldn't hear that. It's not the fucking Polar Express, bro. It's a fucking Game Boy.
No, there's like that. There's a high pitch though. If you're over a certain age, you can't hear. That's what the entire
It's
Pokemon
like
soundtrack
when you
is
could
composed
hear the
of,
TV
actually.
on when you were little,
It's like, what? It's
Sounds
a
like a
TV,
TV,
yeah.
like-
Sounds like you got tinnitus. You're like,
It's still an awful
Oh,
sound.
shit.
I would know, because I still have a tube TV like a schmuck.
so Pokemon's coming out this year, right?
Pokemon's not coming out this year.
You're right. I know.
It might not even come out in 2019.
It'll come out by 2019.
It'll come out like when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
No, Kingdom Hearts should be this year. I bet we're going to see a big
Oh my
E3
God,
showing.
It's
and then-
not.
Did you see this guy's fucking exchange with the guy about Kingdom Hearts on Twitter? Please tell us about this.
Well, it was just fucking. I can't remember who I was replying to. It was just some rando that was. It was so funny. It
Should
was
I
like,
pull the exact conversation up?
yeah, if you want to. I think it was the Completionist. I follow his Let's Play channel.
Dude, are you trying the Completionist?
Dude, yeah. Favorite games, Donkey Kong Country 2. But someone was just replying because he was like, "What games are you looking forward to this year?" And he had like a list of a poll.
Oh,
so,
I did see that.
and one of them was Kingdom Hearts 3. And I was like, Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2018. I don't believe that. And then somebody was going through the replies, and everybody who was like making a joke about Kingdom Hearts 3, he had like written this thing out on his like notepad on his phone, and like screen captured it and like sent it to like 3 other people. I was like, why would you even say that Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't come out this year? Square Enix has never like deleted a game, blah blah blah. All this like just like talking out of his asshole. And then I went to his page and I looked at the tweets he'd sent out, and I saw that he had sent that to 3 other people. So I screenshot that and sent it to him. He was like,
And because it's funny because the guy took it way too seriously, because literally it was just
did he really say like Square Enix has never? Like,
it was something like that. I can't remember. It was some bullshit.
so
You should say, "Hey, Final Fantasy 15."
Seriously.
yeah, Gerard was like, what 2018 game are you most looking forward to? Spider-Man, Kingdom Hearts, Mega Man, Yoshi. And then Nick's just like, ha, Kingdom Hearts 2018, good one. And the guy's response is like, Kingdom Hearts has never been delayed, except one time.
Many times.
Yeah, I feel like if Tetsuya Nomura says that it's coming this year, it will. He wouldn't say it if he wasn't confident. The fan base of this game has gotten really annoying. I won't lie. Why be not trust them if they ever gave a reason for you to? What's he fucking saying?
Dude, that guy and Tetsuya Nomura are super tight. They go way back. and he's his personal bodyguard on Twitter.
Why do you not trust them?
It's his burner account.
Why do you not trust them?
Why be not trust them if they never give a reason for you to? Come on.
Why be not?
I understand we all have our opinions that we are all entitled to, but why can't we have faith? Praise Jesus.
Born again Kingdom Hearts fan.
Yeah. What's the thing? They've been talking about Kingdom Hearts since the fucking PS2, I swear to God.
Well, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts since the PS2.
Bro, there hasn't been a Kingdom Hearts since PS2.
Are we 14
Well,
years
apparently
removed
there's
from...
been like 5.
Well, there's been like the handheld ones and like that isn't.
There've been handheld,
There was
re-releases,
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories,
HD.
Dream Drop Distance, 358 over 2 days,
You fucking had the shittiest
2.8
names.
final chapter prologue, 1.5 plus 2.5 final remix.
It's so
I feel
bad.
like those are all real ones.
They are!
Oh my god!
Literally are. That was fucking spot on. Here's the thing, like, why couldn't they just be like Kingdom Hearts Ultimate Edition or Kingdom Hearts every game? Like,
Kingdom Hearts complete.
Kingdom Hearts
Right.
4.
like that too.
5.
But exactly. Kingdom Hearts Chapter 1.5 HD remix. Like, so which games am I getting? Is this actually?
I know, and like, was there like a Kingdom Hearts 1.5 remix that wasn't HD?
No.
No. You silly boy.
Plus 2.5 HD.
Oh.
I have no fucking idea. It's goddamn ridiculous.
It's hilarity is what it is.
Yeah. So
Madness.
2018. That game looks beautiful.
Yeah, that Toy Story world
Yeah,
looks fucking
gorgeous.
great.
The
Oh
game's
yeah,
gonna
that
be
looks
awful.
better than the movie.
Or like the characters look like they're actual action figures. That's
Sure,
super
but the
tight.
game's gonna be terrible, right?
It should be
After all this
okay.
time.
I mean, it can't be any better than the other Kingdom Hearts games. Like, if you're not into them, then you're probably not going to be into this. It's just an action RPG, button mashy. You might actually kind of like it because you like the Dynasty Warriors. It's not really that difficult.
I won't play all the Warriors games.
It's not that difficult. You
Can oh wow, I can get into.
This is truly the Dark Souls of Kingdom Hearts.
All right, this has been the Constant Crusade podcast. I'm gonna go jump off of something really tall.
Good luck. What a fucking sprawling suburbia.
I bet you if I land right, I can just jump off the roof and be good.
You could land right just
yeah.
falling down. Like, straight
true.
standing.
That's true, bro. I was out filming in the fucking rain, and I slipped in the mud, and like I landed with my arm underneath me, and it was so sudden. I didn't hit my head, but I blacked out. Like I don't remember getting on the ground. I remember falling, and I remember like the pain of my arm being under me, but I don't remember like how I just was like, whoa, I'm on the fucking ground. And I got home that night and was like, dude, I could have cracked my fucking skull right there. It just like flashed before my eyes. Just one wrong step, that could have been it for me.
See, that was your body like taking over for like your incoordinates, like
Yeah,
as a whole. It was just like, nope, let me save you now.
Put this arm here, set my head.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. It was trying to be a little more aware of my surroundings now.
I wish you would.
Yeah,
Though you set drinks down is worrisome enough.
yeah, right. Well, anyway, for real though, it's 3:40 in the morning. We've been recording for a little bit over an hour. I think we're gonna call that good. I feel like there's so much more we could have touched on.
Oh yeah, we didn't even like hardly touch on.
We go off the rails. We talked. We had a good conversation. We laughed.
I had a good time.
I need some H2O. I've had no water today and plenty of beer. So
Yeah, I'd like to do this again though.
yeah. Well, I'm in town for a week. I'm gonna go back to Eugene with 10
holy-
podcasts in the fucking bank, dude.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good. I'm off till Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we just start with intentions and then just get derailed. And that makes for a better conversation anyway.
We'll have part 2 coming at you later.
We'll see you then or see you another time.
Okay, Kevin.
All right. Okay. Kevin,
Ladies on the men's Jay.
Hey, we should get Kevin on here.
I'm down to talk to anybody.
Let's
We have like a
do
million
that.
guests we want to get on this week.
Yeah.
But it's good because we're talking about video games. We need to go in with a better list of topics because we're just like, let's talk about Brennan and what he liked, what he grew up with. Okay.
And then
Well,
we
yeah,
start talking about like
Toy
SWAT cats.
We spent more time talking about not video games. I'm okay.
Shaq Fu.
It was good. Shaq Fu.
It's part of the Crusade. You got to really.
I honestly
Flush them all
still
out.
don't
Yeah.
know what Shaq Fu is.
It's a shitty fighting game.
It's a fighting game with Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal. It's fucking awful.
You mean like Shazam?
Shazam?
It's Kazam.
Yeah.
Shazam. Because Shazam's the one that
didn't
Sinbad
exist.
did. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So Shaq did Steel. What was Sinbad's version of that?
Yeah, right.
Or was Sinbad a superhero?
Aluminium.
Aluminium. The British.
Don't make fun of our British listeners.
Oh, shit. Our British listeners.
I'm sorry if
I know
anybody in Britain is listening to
sometimes
this.
Chris uses a British accent, but he's still from Oregon. Anyway, this has been the Constant Crusade podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Constant_Crusade. I'm having a stroke. You can find Nick on Twitter at PressTillDeath. I am at eJiggle. Don't follow me. My boy Brennan at Brennegade86. Follow him. Tweet to him about the Blazers, about video games, and I don't know, what else can they tweet you about? What else do you like? Girls. Tweet them about girls.
You like girls?
That's fine. You like girls?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And.
Oh, fuck. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one of these.
Good outro.
Okay. Give me a countdown. Where's your metronome?